Hey guys, welcome back. So, you'll notice here that I have this nice batch of empty hoppers. Well, today we're going to be fixing that. This was a little test load I made for this car because I had it here. So this car is now ready to go. And now has a realistic coal load, which I will today be showing you. If it'll focus, I will be showing you how I made this and how to make more, because I have 4 more hoppers that need coal loads. So we're going to be filling those up today. So the first thing I do is I took this piece of foam. My camera is blurry today. I took this piece of foam, and as you can see, like right there, I cut out chunks of it. And basically, what I came up with was some stuff like this. Basically, I came up with some squares. Wow, the focusing is really crap right now. I came up with these like squares of it, and then I carved them down so that they'd fit inside the hoppers, because these hoppers, not all of them have the same depth. These 3 do, but this one is deeper. So not all of them have the same depth, and it's also a little longer. So I have it set in here now, and as you can see, it's a little bit too tall, and, well, ignore the pink for right now. So basically, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be shaping this. It's pretty easy to carve these into your own shapes and whatnot. That's not that big of an issue. You just got to have it to where it fits into the hopper loosely enough to where you could still pick it back out, no problem, and to where if you tipped it over and shook it, tapped on it a little bit, it'll come out. That way it's nice and easy to get out, but also tight enough to where it's like, it's not going to wiggle too much, it's not going anywhere. So, basically what we're going to do is, I'm going to set up my camera real quick, and then we're going to start working on the next step. I didn't want to show you the first step. It's pretty simple. You just got to shape it. You just got to cut it to size. Once you cut it to size, then you've got to shape it, and that's where we're going to start. So basically, I'm going to cut this to size, and well, I did cut this to size, and where I'm going to set up the camera and go ahead and show you guys how I shape it. So give me 2 seconds. Alright, so we've got our, actually that might be a little bit too much light, hold on. Darken it up a little bit for you guys, adjust the exposure. So we've got our car, I just move this one out of the way. We've got our car and we've got our this bit. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we want to check here and see where the okay, noises. Anyway, where the car and the bottom of the load are supposed to be. So I'm just going to make a little mark right here to show me this is where that is supposed to be. So what we want to do, if you'll look, well, we'll keep it back here. There's this little line here that I have now that marks where that is. And what we want to do is we want to bring this edge down to that, but keep the middle tall. Sorry, I'm out of frame. Keep the middle tall. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and you want to flatten it out a little bit, smooth it just a bit more than it is. So we're just going to put it flat-faced here. We're putting it flat-faced onto some sandpaper. I think this is, what is this? Coarse just so that I can get it, you know, do it quicker. So we're putting it flat-faced onto that to kind of smooth out all the roughness. So you should end up with something a little more like this. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take it flat-faced, and we're actually going to tip it up a little bit on one side. And we're going to smooth that side down. Now see, this car has that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go do all of the I'm gonna go do the other three, and I will come back whenever I have all of those done for the next step. Okay guys, so the next step, I have them all I have all of our coal loads laid out. And like I said, I was going to show you a better example of one with humps. And that would be this one. This would do it. And this is actually a 3-bay hopper. I don't know how well you guys can tell, but I tried to make it have, like, at least small humps. It looks better in the car. So, what we're going to do next is we're going to set up all the glue. Now, what I am going to be doing, because I'm going to be doing this, because I need to do 4 of them, I am going to put down all of the glue, and then, after that, I'm going to sprinkle on the coal load. This is what I'm using for coal. Yeah, this isn't coal. This is, I believe, medium brown ballast from Woodland Scenics. That's just what I had on hand. I couldn't find any black at Hobby Lobby. When I was there the other day, I used it. I just went there because it was at the front of the neighborhood and I needed it nice and quick. Now having that, the idea is, well, we need to paint over the pink foam anyway, so I might as well paint the ballast as well. And as you saw in the opening bit, it comes out perfectly fine. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start by putting the glue on all of our cars. Just ignore this caboose, it's just up here. We're going to start by putting the glue on all of our cars. Now what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to run... Oh, I gotta get started. There we go. Okay. I'm simply going to run like a bead or 2, maybe 3, down each car. Now, put our glue aside, and then I'm going to take this chunk of paper towel, fold it up, and I'm actually going to take the glue here and rub it in so that it is a thin layer of glue coating the entire surface of the load. If a little bit of pink shows through, that's okay, that's why we're painting it. But this is what we're after, so we're going to do that on all of them. Okay, once we've got that done, we'll use this other chunk of paper towel to, and there's glue on my desk. Use this other paper towel to quickly take all the glue off my hands, because I will need them to be not sticky for the next step. Which is, of course, sprinkling all of the ballast on top of our cars. Before you do this, make sure you put like a paper towel down or something to catch the loose ballast that doesn't stick onto the car, so that you can reuse it. So at this point, the next thing you're going to want to do is leave these here for a second. Like, this would be a good opportunity to like clean up some of this mess over here and stuff, and get all that situation taken care of, and like go like get some glue off your hands for a second, because we're going to want this to set a second. You might, I don't know, you might be able to do it straight, the next step straight off of right here, but I'm going to be waiting for just a second, and once I have once the glue is dried enough, we can go ahead and shake all the rest of this off of them, and at that point we will be ready to let them dry for a couple of hours. So I'm going to be right back. Hold on. Okay, so the glue should now be dry enough to go ahead and pick these guys up and just tap, tap, tap them onto the paper towel. And then we're going to set them aside to dry. Ideally on another paper towel. I don't appear to have another paper towel, so we're just going to use the sandpaper for right now. We're just gonna leave them there to dry. While the glue is still drying, some loose ballast is still going to shake off of these, but it should be fine. So that is going to be it for this little chunk. The next step that we're going to be doing is we're going to be painting these, but in order to do that, we want these to dry thoroughly. So we're going to leave them here for a couple of hours. Ordinarily, I would say overnight, but it's noon, so we're not going to wait that long. I'll probably paint these right before it gets too dark. So probably, it's summer, so probably around like 8 I'll go ahead and paint these. That should be plenty of time. That's roughly overnight. And then once we do that, they'll pretty much be done. They'll just need to dry after that. So we will come back here in just a little bit once these guys are nice and dry. Okay guys, so just ignore the incredibly loud sound of the Texas cicadas, and we are going to go ahead and paint these guys now. So I've got them out here on my box on my nice patch of grass. This is why we don't paint on concrete. We paint on the grass, not on concrete, on the grass, because otherwise this happens. Anyway, so we're just gonna set up the camera here. It's a little bit difficult to see. I've got my smaller tripod. My bigger tripod is not here. But we're gonna go ahead and paint these suckers and get these bad boys rolling. Okay guys, so there we go. We've got them all painted up and everything. What you really want is you want to make sure that you get them nice and covered, because you don't want any of that pink of the foam showing through, or whatever color your foam is. If it's white, it's gonna really show. If it's pink, it's gonna really show. You wanna, whatever color your foam is, you wanna make sure that that is not all that visible. So now I'm just going to let them sit out here and dry for a little bit, and then bring them on inside so that they can dry overnight. They just need to be dry enough for me to touch so that I can pick them up and move them. And then we will come back whenever, sometime tomorrow, whenever I finish them off. Okay guys, so here we have, it's the next morning. If I sound a little off, please excuse that. I just woke up like maybe 15 minutes ago. Not quite awake yet, and I forgot a very key important step yesterday, which was to cap the glue. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so sorry if I sound a little off. I just woke up maybe 10-15 minutes ago. So here we have them. They dried overnight, and they are actually looking pretty good. Nice and dry. So this is how they're looking. Yeah, there we go. So as you can see, they all turned out pretty good. And I figured I'd go ahead and show you guys, go ahead and put them in the cars for you guys so you can see them. Just a little sneak preview before the next little clip, which is going to be the actual run-bys. Looks better from this side. You're always gonna have your couple of imperfections where it didn't end up as good. So here's one of them. Looks pretty good. And I'll just kind of run by these kind of quick, and then we will bring them over to the layout to show you guys. Here's the next one. And we'll bring them over to the layout and do some run-bys with them. This is the last in detail look you're gonna get. The next time they'll be all moving and everything on the train, so I figured it was a good idea. These ended up being a little tighter than I had intended, but a little bit of easy work should fix it. Here's the there we go. Here's the next one. Here's the last one that we did. Right there. And then just because, here is the one that I did as a test. So there we go. We've got, let me just adjust my focus. So there we go, guys. We've got 5 brand new coal loads in our hoppers, 4 of which you actually saw getting made in the process, and the 5th one was just a test, so to see how I was going to make the other 4 for the video. So that's pretty much going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget, you can always comment if you have any questions, and yeah, so I think we will go ahead and see you guys on the layout for little bit of a run by and everything. I don't know when this video is going to come out, but it's not going to be, it's going to be a day or two. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and see you guys on the layout for a run by or two. Enjoy the run bys.